center, linebacker David Park, and of course Coach Bagnoli on your right. We'll go right into questions whenever you're ready. Go right ahead.
Coach Bagnoli, you just played in the longest game in Ivy League history. How can you reflect upon that?
Yeah, first of all, it was two good football teams, and I give Dartmouth a lot of credit. You know, they had that home ride down here. I thought they played well enough to win. We caught a couple breaks, and I thought our kids hung in there really well. You know, we have kids that somehow, some way, find a way to get things done. Hopefully it's a byproduct of the culture and the kind of kids that we have. You know, we were very fortunate. I think Dartmouth is a legitimate football team that's going to cause everybody problems this year. And I think they do a lot of really good things from a coaching perspective, how to utilize their personnel. And so it was a great game if you're a spectator. If you're a coach on either side, it had so many highs and lows and peaks and valleys, you don't know how to react. And really, it was the last man standing, and I give Kyle Wilcox, you know, an awful lot of credit for coming in late when, you know, Brandon got hurt, to come in and provide a spark. I give our kids a lot of credit for making plays. And so, if you're a spectator, it was a spectacular game. I'm not sure anybody left. And if you're a coach, you know, you're going to go to bed really early on either side because it was emotionally exhausting.
And what are the statuses right now of Brandon Colavita and also Connor Scott, who missed the game?
Well, Connor is going to be out at least for another week. It looks like. We don't know about Brandon. He heard something pop in his knee. He's going to get an MRI on Monday to see what exactly it is. The x-rays were inconclusive. So I'm not sure of the status, and you know, I got to give our offensive kids some credit because you know we've been really short-handed ever since we had lost Lyle Marsh and we had lost Derek Fiore and we lost Connor Scott and we lost 5 or 6 receivers for the year. So we were down playing some freshmen. Danny Ferenz, you saw today, play a lot. Some young kids, and it's just again, it's hard to get continuity. It's hard to get precision, and somehow, some way. We kind of clawed and scraped and fought and battled and able to make enough plays. But it's kind of a testimony to our kids. You know, it wasn't pretty, and I said it last time. It wasn't a Picasso, and today was not a Picasso by any stretch.
Near the end of regulation, you decided to go with a 52-yard field goal with Connor Loftus. What was the thought process behind that decision?
Yeah, I mean, again, in pregame, he was hitting them from 50, 51. He's got a good enough leg. You know, that was kind of a bad sequence. You know, we went in being fairly comfortable field goal position. We tried to run a sprint back draw. We didn't seal the corner, so instead of, you know, being where we were or maybe a couple of yards closer, we ended up 7 yards, 6 yards behind. And what would have been a 43, 42 ends up being a 52 when the smoke cleared. So, you know, we got to execute better. You know, we can't let that kind of slippage go. And, you know, probably in hindsight, you know, probably should have ran north-south and tried to put the ball in the middle of the field. So it's kind of a combination of a lot of things.
Coach, I don't know his name because I was down on the sidelines taking pictures. The guy who caught Dominic Pierre at the end of regulation.
Evan Jackson? Yeah.
Well, talk about that play.
Yeah, I mean, again, we get our kids to play hard. You know, that's something that we're always preaching on. Play hard, make them snap the ball again. And, you know, again, it's never pretty. You know, we're banged up, you know, coming off of that Villanova game. You know, that's a really physical encounter for us. So we're bruised and battered on both sides. And it was a great hustle play. And again, you know, if you have them snap the ball, then potentially you don't know what happens after that. You know, you've got the potential for some good things, but I think it was a great individual effort with them.
David, on that play at the end of the game, how do you get close enough to block that kick and save the game?
We had a really good push up front, and you know we practice block every week with Coach Shave. So I just saw an opening and just took off.
We're coming up the middle?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Kind of to the left side.
And then in the play earlier in the game, Dalen Williams had the ball go out of his hands. How did you know that it was a fumble right away and then take it all the way to the house?
I didn't know, but I didn't hear the whistle blow, so I just picked it up and ran. And I had good blocks up front, so.
What were you feeling the last 10 or 15 yards? Because I thought another whistle blew because it looked for a second there as if you were stopping. You were just slowing down, right? You're running out of gas a little bit?
Yes, sir. I was really tired, but I'm glad I got the touchdown.
Was there any sort of doubt in your mind as you headed downfield as to whether this was live or not?
I wasn't thinking, honestly. I was just running, and I had guys blocking up front, so
Right.
I just followed their lead.
Did the ball come to you on one bounce?
Yes, sir.
Billy, there were 2 overtimes afterwards, but so first overtime, you're stopped at the 5-yard line, and then overtime later, you're pulling off that 27-yard run. How can you just describe that change in emotion so quickly?
Yeah, I think it was, the coaches always harp on the next play. You can't really, you have to forget about what happened, in regulation, first overtime. So, we were fighting there to the end, and, it was nice to finally get a play with my feet, first time all season. But, things break down, you just got to make a play, and, we were able to run the ball well in the fourth quarter and all the overtimes with Kyle. I mean, he played unbelievable coming off the bench. So, it's total team effort, and we're happy to get a win.
And last week you only had 20 yards on 30 rushes, and then this week you had 50 rushes for 218 yards. What can you say about the complete change in the rushing game and the overall success?
Yeah, I think the coaches put a lot of onus on the offensive line, and they responded. Obviously, I mean we were getting 4 or 5 yards at least on every run, and our backs were running hard, and we were able to kind of wear them down as the game went, and it was a testament to the guys up front and our backs running hard.
And Coach Bagnoli, so Colavita goes down, and you have Spencer Colsop who's been getting carries. You get Mike Alesperu who gets the touchdown run, and then you get Kyle Wilcox who ends up going for 94 yards over the 4 overtimes and the little bit at the end of regulation. What can you say about your depth at the running back position?
Yeah, and I mean, we had already lost Marsh, so we're down to, but we got good players, and you can't worry about the kids you don't have. You just got to worry about the kids you do have. And we're blessed to have some good young kids, work hard, are explosive, and he's one of them. Whether it's it's Spencer, who's battling some injuries, or it's Kyle who's coming off the bench, or it's Mike Elsperu who's coming off the bench. We've got confidence in them. They're talented kids. They just need a little bit of playing time, and I think they're proving that they're varsity ready, and it's going to provide some depth and hopefully some carryover as we continue down the stretch, to the next portion of our season.
Billy, can you talk a little bit emotionally as being someone who's involved in such a crazy game like that? The coach talked about it from a spectator's point of view. Are you able to enjoy that? And say, wow, this is awesome, or are you just...
Yeah, I mean, seeing Kyle turn the corner was a great feeling for sure. At first I was saying, what the heck are you doing? Going outside, just get the ball in the middle of the field.
Are we supposed to run it up the middle?
Yeah, I mean, I thought but he got the edge and, was able to make a heck of a run. But, we were just happy to get a win, and it was a hard-fought game, and happy to get a W, and what definitely felt like the longest game in the Ivy League.
So when Dartmouth is lined up for the 2 field goals that could win it for them, do you even watch? What are you thinking? What were the feelings at that moment?
I mean, you just got to hope and pray, and Dave made a great play. We were fortunate enough to have him miss a couple kicks, and we were able to stick in it, and we stuck with it, and we were able to get a win.
Billy, you've won a ton of games in your career here, but you have paid Dartmouth back. They're the reason you're here this year. You talk a little bit about the the series that you've played against them? Because personally, you've had some pretty strong games against them.
Yeah, I think it seems like every game comes down to the last possession, last play. I mean, this is the second time we've gone into overtime with them since I've been here. They're a great team, a great program, and fortunate for us, we've been on the winning side of most of those. And just got to take this game, correct the mistakes, and move on and get better and get ready for William and Mary.
Anything else?
Coach Bagnoli, it's just the third game of the year. You still have to think about.
Is that all it is? So we just played about five or six. Yeah.
But you have William and Mary next week, but where does this rank up in your top games in your career? And can you still picture each play, or is it just jumbled in your mind right now?
No, it's jumbled, to be honest with you. It's jumbled. I mean, this probably, and again, this had as many highs and lows as any games I could recall. I mean, we've been in overtime games, but we haven't been in 4 overtime games. We haven't had some of the drama that this game possessed. So, when the smoke clears and you actually got a chance to look back at things and how it unfolded, we'll probably look back and say, this was something that was potentially one of the games, games for 2013. Just when the smoke clears, it was. You don't know moving forward, but obviously it could be a very defining game for the season.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.